type of event. Okay, altogether for this chapter, we would have 4 different type of event. Ada 4 jenis event. Hari ni kita belajar 2 je dulu. Okay, start with the first one. Mutually exclusive event. Okay, apa yang maksud dia dengan mutually exclusive event? 2 event are called mutually exclusive if there is no intersection between those 2 event. So, senang cerita kalau kita ada 2 event, event A and event B, when our intersection is 0, no intersection between those two, we will call this as mutually exclusive event. Bahasa lainnya maksudnya when we have 2 event that cannot happen at the same time. Dua event yang tak boleh berlaku serentak. Okay, itu kita akan panggil benda tu sebagai mutually exclusive event. So remember when it comes to mutually exclusive, intersection between those two must be 0. Sebab selalunya soalan akan cakap, okay, show that this is mutually exclusive event. Awak sendiri kena ingat lah, okay, kalau mutually exclusive, kita kena ingat intersection must be 0. And in the form of Venn diagram, event kita mesti gambar macam tu lah. Dia ada 2 bulat yang tak boleh ada overlap. Selalunya kalau saya ingat mutually exclusive kan, huruf M. Huruf M tu mata. Mata maksudnya Venn diagram kita ada 2 bulat kat situ. Macam mata awak ada 2 bulat. Itu mutually exclusive event for your Venn diagram. Tulislah kat sini. Mungkin membantu. Sebab nanti ada banyak-banyak jenis event awak tak ingat ni. So, first ni mutually exclusive event, no intersection between those two. Cara nak lukis Venn diagram, kita mesti ada 2 mata. Bulat. Okay, settled. Next event. Kita pergi exhaustive event. Okay, so for exhaustive event, they said that 2 events said to be exhaustive if, sekejap, ayat dia macam tak betul. Atas guna AB, bawah guna ABC. Okay, kita ignore dia punya definition tu. If definition tak betul. So, exhaustive event means union of all event complete the sample space. Event tu mesti memenuhi sample space. Complete the sample space. Cara kita nak buktikan dia, union of all event must be equal to 1. Ini cara kita nak bukti. Kalau soalan suruh check whether this is exhaustive, kita unionkan semua event, kita mesti dapat jawapan 1. But then in the sense of Venn diagram, lukisan dia pelik sikit lah. Kita tak boleh ada lopong-lopong bulat-bulat selalu, dia akan jadi bentuk macam tu. Dia tak boleh ada event yang bukan dalam kategori sample space tu. Maksud saya, okay, kita pakai contoh paling senang, kuliah awak. Okay, kuliah kita, kuliah K5MD. Okay, inside K5MD, okay, we have 3 different tutorial kan. Kita ada kelas MD13, and then MD14, MD15. Okay, so I would say union of all event complete the sample space. Tak adalah tiba-tiba yang saya masuk je kuliah K5MD, pilih satu student tu bukan daripada 3 kelas ni. Benda tu tak akan berlaku. So, kalau student tu bukan MD13, dia mesti MD14. Kalau bukan, dia mesti MD15. Tak boleh tiba-tiba saya masuk kuliah K5MD, tiba-tiba saya jumpa student MD16. Benda tu tak boleh berlaku kan? Okay, so if this happen, we call this as exhaustive event. Union of all event complete our sample space. Okay, so itu 2 event. Okay, kita nak buat contoh soalan last untuk hari ni. Macam mana kita nak lukis untuk mutually exclusive dengan exhaustive event. Alright, so let S be the sample space. We have list of number now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up to 10. Okay, if A is 1 up to 6 and then B is 5 up to 10, determine the event of A and B by using Venn diagram. Okay, dia suruh kita lukis Venn diagram, baru kita nampak event tu macam mana sebenarnya. Alright, so if we have two different event, as I said before, first find the intersection so that awak takkan tersalah lukis nanti. So in this case, we have intersection kan between A and B, the overlap tu kat number 5 and 6. Okay, alright, selalunya lah kita akan lukis Venn diagram. Awak akan start dengan ada event A, ada event B. Okay, and then tadi kita pesan awak mesti complete with the intersection part first. So, kita akan letak dengan overlap side. Kita jumpa 5, 6. And then for event A, kita ada 1, 2, 3, 4. For event B, the remaining one would be 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Nampak macam? Okay, siap. Alright. So, this is example wrong representative for this situation. Okay, ini cara kita lukis Venn diagram yang salah lah untuk soalan ni. Why? Because now we have a complete sample space. Di kita sample space dia mesti from 1 up to 10. Semua tu kita dah label, but then kita ada empty space outside of this event. Kan? Dia tak boleh kat situ. Ada event kat luar tu, kawasan kat luar tu, tapi tak ada elemen langsung. Dia bukan A, dia bukan B. Tak ada apa-apa nak letak kat situ. So, dia dah jadi tak logik, dah salah lukis. Kalau tiba-tiba kita ada nombor, contohnya lah dalam list ni saya ada number 11. Okay, 11 tu kita nak letak outside ni. Dia bukan A, dia bukan B. Then yes, our Venn diagram is correct macam tu. Tapi sekarang tak ada. Semua nombor kita dah pakai. Tapi tak ada nombor yang kat luar daripada event tu. Means kita punya Venn diagram dah salah. Okay, so macam mana nak repair benda ni? You remember, event kita mesti memenuhi ruang. So, kita tak boleh ada empty space between those two. So, now apa yang kena buat? A dengan B, penuhkan ruang tu. So, intersection between those two tadi sama, 5, 6. Okay. And then for event A only, kita ada 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for event B would be 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Dia penuh ruang macam tu. Tak ada ruang-ruang yang kosong. Alright, that's how we construct this Venn diagram to satisfy the sample space. So if this happen, nampaklah kat situ kan, semua event memenuhi sample space. So we can conclude that A and B are exhaustive event. Okay, alright, settle exhaustive event. Kita pergi last question for today. Okay, so untuk situation B, we have another sample space now. Number is from 1 up to 6. We have event C, 2, 4, 6. And then event D, 1 and 3. Lepas tu dia tak ada intersection. C dengan D tu tak ada nombor yang sama. And we have extra number, kita tengok kat situ, yang dia tak ada kat dalam C, dia tak ada kat dalam D. Dia ada 5. Tu extra number kita. Alright, so now kita tahulah, kita boleh lukis event bulat-bulat macam biasa. But careful, between C and D, no intersection between those two. So maksudnya C akan ada satu je bulat, 2, 4, 6. D would be another event with different circle, 1 and 3. And then we have 5 outside of those two event. Itu sample space kita. Okay, so bila nampak je Venn diagram, ada dua mata kat situ. We know that now means C and D are mutually exclusive event. Okay, settle. Kenapa? Kalau kita nak dia tanya kenapa, bolehlah awak ni. Justification kita because probability of C intersect D equal to 0. Tak ada intersection langsung. That's mean by mutually exclusive event. Kalau tertinggal tadi yang atas tadi, kenapa dipanggil sebagai exhaustive? Sebab probability of A union with B must be equal to 1. Tu justification dia based on the Venn diagram. Okay, kita pergi kepada next part, conditional events. Alright, so remember from our previous lecture, I said that for this topic, we would have 4 main event. Kita dah belajar 2, mutually exclusive dengan exhaustive. So hari ni kita sambung lagi 2. Next one, the third event is about conditional event. Okay, that's the definition lah. Probability that event occur given that another event has already occurred. Macam tu lah. Okay, so when it comes to conditional probability, our notation would be probability of A dalam bracket tu, and then we have a straight line B. The way we read that is probability of A given B. That straight line palang tu, palang tu kita panggil sebagai given. Okay. So how do we settle this down? The formula is fixed. If we have probability of A given B, it is the same as probability of A intersect B divide by probability of B. Apa yang ada dalam bracket tu kita intersect kan? Bahagikan dengan event yang belakang. B. So divide by PB. Kalau kat belakang tu huruf C, divide by PC. Macam tu Alright. So tadi saya bagi tahu the straight line we call as given. Okay. Sometimes in the question they won't use the word given itself. There are few keyword involving conditional probability. Saya dah list down lah. Okay, so ada 4 main keyword that most common used during exam. So it can be given that, knowing that, if, also that. Itu 4 main keyword lah. Kalau awak nampak je, okay, perkataan ni ada dalam soalan, okay, now you know, confirm this is conditional probability. Tu ada 4 main keyword. Salin dah. Kalau boleh ingat tu, nampak je perkataan ni, you know, ini confirm conditional probability. Okay, kita try jawab soalan involving that. So, for this type of question, saya pergi yang ni lah, yang ni ada conditional. Okay, dia ada 2 pattern. Satu soalan yang involving event, ada cerita-cerita. Satu lagi pattern soalan yang ada macam ni je. Dia bagi terus, guna formula, awak terus cari apa yang dia nak. Okay, maksudnya kalau yang macam ni soalan level C1 lah, straightforward. Kan, terus kira je. Kalau soalan yang ada cerita-cerita event tu soalan level C3. Okay, so we have event A and B such that probability of A 0.5, probability of B is 0.6, A union B is 0.7. That's 3 in 4. So first part of the question, find A intersect B. Okay, so from A intersect B itself, always refer to information given in the question. Apa yang kita ada yang kita boleh guna kat situ? We have union. Okay, so remember, if it's involving union, always use the formula. Jangan buat formula sendiri. Basic law of probability said that A union B is probability of A plus probability of B minus A intersect B. Mesti pakai formula ni Dia bukannya A tambah B, dia bukannya A darab B. Jangan buat jajaran sesat kat situ. Nampak union, confirm pakai formula. Okay, and then just straight away substitute what we have. We have 0.7 and then A is 0.5, B is 0.6. Rearrange ataupun simplify this up, you may find A intersect B. In this case, we should get 0.4. Okay, settle. That's the first part. Okay, next, we have to find probability of A given B. Dia bagi terus macam tu je. Awak kena tahu, okay, ada palang kat situ. We know now this is conditional problem. Okay, so how do we settle this down? If we have A given B, straight away open up using formula. This is A intersect B divided by, ingat, event yang belakang. Huruf belakang kita B. So, divide by PV. Jangan tersalah divide Okay, salah divide, salah lah jawapan awak nanti. Alright, so straight away substitute. A intersect B, you find before, 0.4. Divide by PB. PB given in the question, 0.6. So our final answer here, 2/3. Final answer always in simplest form. Kalau awak dapat decimal yang non-stop, recurrent decimal, better you use a fraction lah, 2/3. Okay, settle for that part. Moving on, C. B given A. Terbalik pula. Nampak macam sama, tapi tak sama sebenarnya. So, if B given A, this is basically probability of B intersect A divide by, remember, kita pilih event yang belakang. So, divide by PA. Okay. So, dia tak sama sebenarnya. A intersect B and B intersect A, yes, that's the same region. So, it's still 0.4. But then now we have to divide by probability of A 0.5 there. So final answer here 4/5. Simple kan? Nampak simple? Yes. Kalau kita tahu formula. Conditional probability so far tak pernah bagi masa exam. Formula yang ni dia tak bagi. Kita nak buka-buka ni, yang tu dia tak bagi. Memang kena tahu sendirilah. Okay. Settle. Okay, ini basic question. Saya patah balik tadi yang saya skip tu. Example 10 ni. Yang ni pun pattern yang sama lah. Yang ni sebab benda yang sama saya tak discuss ni. Saya bagi jawapan akhir je. Try on your own. Example 10 ni. First one. A intersect B. Final answer dia 0.35. Okay. A union B is 0.95. And then B given A prime is 0.75. Saya suruh awak kira sendirilah. Dia main pusing-pusing formula macam tadi je juga. Kalau nampak intersect tu, pakailah formula union. Ada formula pasal conditional kat situ, buka lah guna conditional. Pusing-pusing sikit Okay, try jawab sendiri. Kalau rasa stuck nanti boleh PM tepi. Okay. Settle. Ini pattern first. Dia bagi terus, kita tinggal masuk-masuk formula, dapat jawapan. Kita pergi next problem bila dia melibatkan event. Ada cerita kat situ yang awak kena faham. Okay, so the table show the percentage of stamp of different types of Bharat's collection. Okay, so from the table itself, we have 4 different event here. Kita ada Malaysia, kita ada foreign, kita ada used, kita ada unused. Okay, and then if we check here, Malaysia dengan foreign ni, kita akan categorize this as complement event. Sebab dia Malaysian bukan Malaysia, macam tu lah. Okay, used and unused also we categorize as complement event. They partner together. Okay, if we have at least 4 event, awak baca soalan je ada 4 event at least in the question, start construct the contingency table. Sometimes in the question dia memang clearly stated lah, start construct the contingency table. Sometimes dalam soalan dia tak bagi tahu. Macam ni dia dah bagi je table siap-siap. Sendiri kena tahulah, okay, itu table contingency. Because kita ada between the row and the column, it's complement event. Okay. Tapi tak lengkap lagi contingency table kita ni. Okay, kita lengkapkan dia. Saya buat balik kat bawah So, contingency table, we can have many row or column. Dia tak kisah yang tu. Dia boleh ada beberapa column, dia boleh ada beberapa row. Just make sure between row and column complement event. Tadi kita ada Malaysia dengan foreign, saya guna M and F. Use dengan unused, unused saya guna U prime, complement. Okay, and then we have all the kat situ saya salin balik lah, 36, 24, 14, 26. Okay, so from the table just now, I said it's incomplete because actually at the end of the row and column, we must have summation row and column. Dia ada total kat ujung tu. Kita kena total upkan sendiri. Mesti adalah itu kriteria for contingency table. So kat sini awak completekanlah sendiri the table. Kita main tambah-tambah je kan. Okay, so for male now it should be 50. Female is 50. So total for use is 60. Unused is 40. So the whole thing should be 100. And this part, bahagian yang saya bulat itu, that represent our sample space. Itu memang section untuk sample space. Penting kan sample space? Because if you want to find a probability, every time you have to divide with the sample space. Okay. Baru kita boleh jawab soalan. Okay, first part. Find the probability that the stamp is used. So we have to find probability of use. So for use, dia tak kisah nak Malaysia ke nak foreign. Yang penting use. Means kita terus pilih total for use. 60. Okay, so this is actually 60 out of, jangan lupa, because this is probability, divide by sample space. So 60 out of 100. So this can be either you use 3/5 or 0.6. Both are acceptable lah, tak kisah yang tu. Okay, Simple kan? Nampak simple sebab kita dah buat total tu. Terus ambil je. Okay, kita pergi next one, B. Given that the stem is used, what is the probability that it is foreign? Okay, bila baca tu nampak macam, okay, biasa je soalan tu. Tapi kita ada perkataan penting. The keyword there is given that. Okay, baru tadi kita intro. So, if we have that keyword in the question, means this is conditional probability. Okay, so for conditional probability, tadi kita ada probability of A palang B. Macam tu kan, A dengan B. So, normally student akan confuse. Siapa nak jadi A, siapa nak jadi B. Okay, so in order to arrange that, how we interpret the question, kalau saya bagi keyword, ingat P, Q, S. Ingat P, Q, S. Q for question, S for statement. That's how we rearrange the conditional probability question. So from here, awak baca je soalan tu, awak tengok yang mana satu question, yang mana satu statement. Okay, kita patah balik soalan. Given that the stem is used. Ada ke ayat soalan kat situ? Ayat soalan kat situ? Tak ada kan? Given that the stem is used. Okay, itu sekadar statement. Stem is used means ini event yang belakang. Statement kita. What is the probability that it is foreign? Ada ayat tanya kat situ. What is the probability? So you know that's the question. Means foreign event is the question. So kalau kita ingat susunan tadi, PQS, in this case dia akan jadi probability of foreign, itu soalan, given that use, itu statement. So saya terus tukar balik, so dia akan jadi probability of foreign given that use. F palang U. Okay, biasanya kalau exam, ini markah pertama. Dia nak tengok, awak tahu translate soalan that is conditional probability and then you arrange in the form of probability in a correct order. Siapa question, siapa statement. Jangan tertukar. Okay. So, for conditional probability, just now we discussed, we must use a formula. So, open this up using formula. This is probability of F intersect U divided by PU. Ingat divide by last event. Okay. So, next we substitute the value based on the table. Okay. So, F intersect U. F intersect U from the table terus nampak. It's 24. And then U kita dah cari tadi. Careful here, this is probability. Ingat atas dengan bawah tu dua-dua probability. So, for F intersect U, tadi 24, kita tak boleh tulis 24 je. 24 is not a probability. Remember, condition for probability must be in the range of 0 up to 1. Kan? Itu je. So, kalau kita tulis 24, confirm dah keluar range. Itu bukan probability. So, to make this is a probability, we must divide by sample space. So, kena tulis 24 out of 100. Macam tu. Jangan tulis 24 je. Nanti salah. Divide by probability of use. Probability use tadi kita dah cari kat part A kan? Tadi kita dapat tu. Part A. Probability of use is 0.6. So, simplify this up. We should get 2/5. Or 0.4. Okay, saya sambung. Tadi markah pertama saya cakap awak translate soalan, betul. Markah kedua, find the probability for numerator part. Find probability for denominator part. Final answer. Nampak je simple kan? Pendek je yang kerja tapi 4 marks. Banyak markah. Statistik memang biasanya macam tu lah. Jalan kerja pendek tapi markah banyak. So, kita janganlah berhasrat nak tinggalkan topik ni. Awak tinggal topik ni, banyak markah terbang nanti. Okay. Settle B. Okay, kita cuba lagi sekali. Another question involving conditional. Saya patah balik soalan. Okay. See, given that it is Malaysia stamp, kenapa ada E kat situ? Okay, given that it is Malaysia stamp, what is the probability that it is unused? So, ingat tadi kita ada keyword. So, you know this is conditional. Ingat PQS. Cari siapa statement, siapa soalan. So, given that it is Malaysia stamp, itu statement. What is the probability that it is unused? Itu soalan. So, dia akan jadi unused given that Malaysia stamp. Okay, so dari segi soalan, kita translate dia akan jadi, buat C kat sini, unused U prime given that Malaysia stamp M. Okay, itu markah pertama. Translate soalan dengan betul. So next part, open up using formula. So this is U prime intersect M divide by probability of M. Next, find probability for each part. U prime intersect M, carilah kat dalam table awak tu. So U prime intersect M, kita dapat 14. Tapi ingat, jangan tulis 14, mesti tulis probability. So dia akan jadi 14 out of 100. Mesti bahagi sample space. Divide by probability of M. Probability of M, kita cari lagi. Tengok balik dalam table. 50. So, in the terms of probability, 50 out of 100. Okay. So, lepas tu kita dapatlah final answer 7/25. Okay. Settle. Sama macam tadilah markah kita. Translate soalan betul. Denominator, numerator, final answer. 4 marks. So, kalau macam soalan ni je, markah dia dah 10 markah. Kalau pattern macam ni lah keluar exam. Pendek macam ni je, 10 markah. A tu 2 markah, standard. Cari probability, final answer 2 markah. B, 4 markah. C pun 4 markah. Total 10 markah. Macam tu lah soalan PSPM. Okay. So, always yang highlightnya, bahagian calculation tu mesti probability. Selalunya lah, student akan kena hilang markah. Dia dapat 1 markah je sebab bahagian yang, ni saya buat ni, fokus ni. Dia terlupa nak divide by sample space. Dia terus ambil je daripada table. Okay, dia buat 14 out of 50. Nanti akan dapat jawapan yang sama. Yes, 7/25. But then, in the sense of formula, bahagian saya buat arrow tu, that is incorrect. Why? Based on the formula just now, it is probability. Probability. Dia dah tak logik lah. Walaupun end up nanti hasilnya kita dapat jawapan yang sama, biasanya macam ni dia tak lenient dah. Dia memang cerewet kat situ, dia pangkah je, kosong, tak dapat markah kat situ. Okay, so careful bahagian yang tu ingat mesti probability divide, mesti ada sample space. Baru dapat final answer. Okay, settle, first start. Okay, kita cuba lagi satu example. Alright, so this is another example involving conditional probability. First, kalau jumpa soalan panjang ni, ini tak level panjang sangat lagi, tapi boleh lah. Okay, baca dulu soalan. Identify how many event do we have in this question. Okay, so we have 30 mathematics professor out of 100 who are examined were found to be overweight. Overweight. 10 of them had high blood pressure. Okay, 4 of the professor who were not overweight had high blood pressure. Find the probability that a mathematician professor not have high blood pressure, not overweight. Okay. So, bila baca tu kat situ, nampak kan? Altogether, we have 4 main event. Overweight, not overweight, high blood pressure, not have high blood pressure. So, sekarang kita dah ada 4 event. So, macam saya pesan tadi, if it's involving at least 4 event, start construct your contingency table. Okay, so kita start buat table now. Okay. So, for table part, up to you which one you want to be the row and column as long as it is complement event. And then at the end of the column and row, mesti total. Okay, saya mula dengan tadi awal kita ada overweight, saya guna tu sebagai yang first lah. Overweight. So, complement dia mesti W prime lah, not overweight. Jangan letak kat sebelah dia tu high blood pressure. Dia bukan complement event. Nanti saya salah. Okay. Next, kita ada high blood pressure. So, complement dia not have high blood pressure, H prime. Okay. Next, complete all the info given in the question. So, we have 30 mathematics professor found to be overweight. So, 30 should be here. Out of 100 means that is our sample space. Sample space jangan salah. Penting tu. Okay. So next, 10 of them had high blood pressure. So out of overweight, 10 have high blood pressure. So only 4 of the professor not overweight had high blood pressure. So kat sini 4. Settle. Itu je info yang dia bagi. Okay. So the remaining part yang lopong-lopong dalam table tu, awak kena completekan sendirilah pakai logik. Macam mana nak dapatkan, kita dah ada total-total kat situ. Ini main pusing-pusing sendirilah. Rasanya tak ada masalah lah. So sini bawah tu should be 20. Betul. Sini akan jadi 70. This part should be 66. So we have 14 and 86. Okay. Lengkaplah table kita. Dah lengkap, baru kita jawab soalan. Find the probability that a mathematics professor will not have high blood pressure if he is not overweight. Okay, penting kat situ ada keyword if. So tadi kita dah jumpa lagi awal-awal. Saya dah bagi 4 list of main keywords. If is one of them. So this is conditional probability because we have the word if. So remember tadi susunan kita PQS. So analyze from the question, which part is the question, which part is the statement. Find the probability that a mathematics professor will not have high blood pressure. Itu soalan kan? Find the probability. Ayat tanya kat situ. Okay, so that's the question. Not have high blood pressure. H prime. Okay, if, so palang, he is not overweight. That is the statement. So W prime. That's the question lah. H prime, given that W prime. Itu cara awak translate soalan daripada ayat tu. Kalau salah, terbalik, salah lah nanti. So, open up using formula. Just now, we have H prime intersect W prime divided by W prime. So, H prime over W prime, check back from the table. It is 66. And then W prime itself, the total summation kita, 70. So, substitute this into the formula. So, 66, don't forget, divide by your sample space, 100. And then W prime pun 70, divide by the sample space. So, 100. Final answer, 33 over 35. Okay. Nampak simple kan? Nampak lah, memang simple pun sebenarnya kalau faham konsep. Remember, event ada berapa banyak, so that awak kena buat table. Completekan the table correctly, jangan tersalah masuk. Kalau salah masuk, total jadi lain, mengarutlah kat situ. Okay, dah settle. Baca soalan ni betul-betul, identify ada keyword ke tak. Selalunya orang akan terlepas pandang lah if kat situ. Dia memang ingat given that je. Dia terlupa if tu one of the category for conditional probability. Kalau awak tak perasan ni soalan conditional, awak jadi ngarut je nanti. Okay. Right, settle. Kita pergi next problem. So, in a school, there are 80 teachers. Okay, that the sample space sebenarnya. 60 of them are female, 80% of the female are married, 70% of the male are married. Construct tree diagram. Okay, soalan ni dia sebenarnya still conditional because dia cerita pasal married and not married based on female and male teacher. But then dia dah bagi tahu dah kat situ, construct tree diagram. Kita ikut je lah arahan dia. So kita start dengan tree diagram first. Okay, dia cerita start dengan teacher tadi. So, ikut flow dia tahu. Jangan skip-skip. Mula-mula dia cerita pasal we have female teacher and male teacher. Altogether teacher tadi kita ada 80. Female is 60. Male should be 20. Alright, so kat bahagian cabang, kita mesti letak probability. Jangan letak total kat situ Maksudnya jangan letak 60. Kita mesti letak 60 out of 80. But normally kita letak simplest form lah. So we have 3 over 4. So complement of it, summation mesti dapat 1 ataupun 20 over 80, that is actually 1 over 4. Settle. Okay. Ada sambungan cerita lepas tu kan? Saya patah balik soalan tadi. Sambungan dia apa? 80% of the female teacher are married. Okay, sambungan. After female, dia pergi cerita lain. Ada cerita pasal married. Saya guna MR. Awak boleh guna apa-apa notation as long as awak sendiri faham. So, dia kata 80%. So, that is 0.8. Means the complement event now you have to complete on your own lah. Kalau kita ada married, for sure dia ada not married. Because summation mesti 1, so this should be 0.2. Okay. Sambung lagi cerita dia. Next part. Okay. 70% of the male teacher are married. Pergi kat male pula. So from male, ada juga married. 70%, so 0.7. Complement sendiri kena complete kan. Not married means 0.3. Settle. Lengkaplah your tree diagram. Okay. So baru kita jawab soalan. Find probability teacher that is picked at random is female and married. Okay, ada N kat situ. Ingat balik awal-awal dulu kita dah cerita pasal N. That's main keyword tu. So, if it's N, maksudnya intersection. So, dia suruh cari female and married. Okay, kita ikut je cabang yang ada. Dia nak mula-mula female, okay. Pergi kepada female. So, probability akan jadi 3/4. Sambung lagi. Married pula. So, probability 0.8. Perjalanan yang sama. Same route. So, you have to multiply. Bukan tambah Situation dia sama ni. Jalan yang sama. So, kena darab. 3/4 times with 0.8. You should get 3/5. Okay, settle. Next part. So, not married. Okay. Saya cuba kecilkan lah kalau muat. Okay. Next part kita nak kena cari probability not married. Okay. So, for not married problem, kalau from the tree diagram kita nampak kita ada 2 case. Jangan lompat case, mula daripada awal. Kita jangan tiba-tiba ambil je 0.2 dengan 0.3. Salah Dia mesti mula daripada depan kan? Because this is conditional probability. So, this should be equal to, mula dengan female juga dulu, 3/4 times with dia punya not married. So, 0.2. Settle case pertama. Plus with, okay, pergi pula kepada male. So, we have 1/4 times with 0.3. Saya tulis lah ni probability female not married. Yang bawah ni probability of male not married. Okay. Itu cerita dia sebenarnya. Terbalik. Tak patut tulis probability dulu baru kira. So, simplify this out. You should get, jangan salah tekan calculator lah kat sini kan. Benda dah senang. 9/40. Okay. Settle. Kita pergi next part. Find the probability that the teacher is a male knowing that, lagi sekali, that's main keyword ni. Saya cubalah dalam soalan ni semua saya letak macam-macam keyword biar semua orang biasa nampak. So this is another conditional probability problem. Find the probability that the teacher is male. Itu ayat soalan. Kan ada find probability. So male is dia punya question. Knowing that the teacher pick is married. Okay, so this is the statement. So kita nak cari male palang married. Saya buka terus pakai formula. So part C we have to find probability male knowing that married. Itu penting, jangan tersalah. So open up using formula. This is male intersect married divided by probability of married. Substitute one by one. Male married from the tree diagram itself, quarter times with 0.7. Probability of married. Okay, boleh awak kira satu-satu from the tree diagram, or kita dah cari tadi bahagian ni. Probability of not married. So, kita kena ingat basic dia, properties kita, complement plus the event itself must be equal to 1. So, kalau saya nak cari yang married, bolehlah kita buat 1 minus with probability not married. Dia ada banyak lah yang kat bawah tu. Kalau nak kira satu-satu, boleh juga. Tak ada masalah. Dua-dua betul. So, in this case, final answer should be 7/31. Okay, settle. Ini contoh problem involving tree diagram. Saya cuba kecilkan. Nampak simple juga tapi banyak markah ni. Tree diagram ni paling sikit 3 markah. Yang ni 2 markah. Yang ni 1, 2, 3. 3 markah juga. Conditional standard 4 markah. Nampak? Macam simple tapi soalan ni 12 markah kalau final. Dia banyak markah kat situ. Okay, settle. Tinggal lagi 12 minit, saya kena pecut. Okay, kita nak masuk last part. Last event for this question is independent event. Okay, independent event means the outcome of one event does not affect another outcome. Event can happen at the same time. Maksudnya intersection boleh berlaku tapi tak ada kena-mengena. Okay, so the way we prove an independent event, remember this statement. Probability of A intersect B equal to probability of A times probability of B. That about independent. Saya selalu ingat 3 huruf depan ni lah. Independent. IN maksudnya intersection. D maksudnya darab. So intersection is the same as multiplication between those two events. Selalunya kalau event independent ni orang masih tak boleh imagine. Tapi kena fikir ikut logik lah. Benda tu boleh berlaku serentak tapi tak ada kena-mengena. Contohnya, paling senang. Sekarang, pukul 9.49, awak ada kelas dengan saya. Lecture matematik sekarang. Okay? Okay, awak tengah ada kelas matematik. Okay, at the same time, possible juga tiba-tiba hujan kat luar. Saya tak tahulah awak ada kat mana. Contohnya lah, tiba-tiba kat college ni hujan. Okay, ada kena mengena ke hujan dengan kelas matematik? Tak ada kena mengena. Tapi boleh berlaku serentak? Yes, it can happen at the same times. Mean that is independent event. Itu contoh independent lah. Okay. Dia boleh berlaku serentak tapi tak ada kena mengena. Kita terus pergi soalan sikit je. Ada 2 soalan. Alright. Event A and B are such that PA is not 0.7, A union B is not 0.88, B given A is not 0.6. Show that A and B are independent. Okay, soalan ni disuruh buktikan those two event are independent. So remember our statement just now, A intersect B must be the same as the multiplication. Kita cari one by one dulu. Saya mulakan dengan left hand side dululah, bahagian yang sini. Find A intersect B. Okay, mana yang kita boleh guna? Kita boleh guna yang given ni dulu. Itu ada kena-mengena dengan intersection kan? Alright, so remember the formula. If B given A, that is the same as probability of B intersect A divided by PA. B given A is not 0.6 given in the question. B intersect A yang kita nak cari. PA also given in the question, not 0.7. Means now probability of A intersect B is not 0.42. Okay, settle. Kita dah cari left side. Now kita nak kena cari right side, multiplication. But we have a problem, PB kita tak dapat lagi. Kan? Okay, nak cari PB? Okay, gunalah next info. Ada cerita pasal union kat sini. Tapi careful, you remember, bila union, mesti guna formula. This is PA plus PB minus A intersect B. Tolonglah hafal benda ni. Jangan lupa formula. Tak payah hafal sebenarnya. Exam dia bagi. Tolonglah reti guna. Okay, masukkan satu-satu. We have 0.88. A is 0.7. PB yang kita nak cari, A intersect B dah dapat tadi, 0.42. So in this case, our PB should be 0.6. Okay, settle. Tapi kita bukan nak cari PB kan? Kita nak buktikan bahagian kanan tadi, the multiplication between those two. So kita carilah sekarang. Means now PA times with PB is 0.7 times with 0.6. We obtain 0.42. Dapatlah bukti. Okay, both are the same. Okay. So, bila soalan show, jangan lupa kita kena tunjuk kita pandai. Mesti ada conclusion. So, conclusion, jangan buat conclusion tak ngarut macam ni. Awak beri 0.42 equal to 0.42. Ini apa benda ni? Jangan buat conclusion sini. Ini salah ni. Tak ada apa-apa. Nampak tak pandai sangat. Jangan tulis tu. Kita kena justify the statement. So, bagi tahu teruslah. Probability of A intersect B is the same with the multiplication between those two. And in this case, we get 0.42. Both. Okay. Ni yang awak kena justify in order to show this is independent. Yang dalam box kuning ni tadi, awal-awal saya tulis ni, ini dia tak bagi tahu masa exam. Saya yang letak siap-siap nak jawab soalan ni. So, you have to justify back the condition for independent. Okay, so, baru boleh buat condition. A and B are independent event. Okay, settle. Ini straightforward. Bagi info, buktikan, terus buat conclusion. Dengan syarat kena faham independent apa jalan kerja kita. Settle. Kita pergi last question Okay, sempat-sempat. Saya laju terus. Alright, the table show number of male and female studying, not studying maths in a college. Student pick at random. Event, student is a male. Student study mathematics are independent. Dia suruh kita check independent ke tak. Okay, ingat syarat tadi? In order to check independent, intersection must be the same as multiplication. Dia dah bagi table, that is contingency table sebenarnya. Dia complement kan? Tapi tak cukup total. So, kita kena total up kan. Saya adjust from the table So, we have male, female. Math ni saya guna MH lah. So, not math, saya guna MH prime. Alright. Find the total part. Penting total ni sebab nanti kita bolehlah dapat dia punya sample space. Okay. So here it should be 75 untuk maths. Next part 175, not maths. Male should be 110. Female should be 140. So altogether 250. Remember, 250 represent our sample space. Okay, kita start dengan statement intersection dulu. So ingat, male dengan study math, kita yang dah namakan tadi notation, up to you if you want to use different notation. So probability of male intersect with maths. Male intersect maths straight away from the table itself. Kita terus nampak kat situ. We have 27. So 27 divide by sample space ingat. So 250. Okay, settle. Kita dah dapat for left side. Next, kita nak check multiplication pula. Okay, so for multiplication, probability of maths male times with probability of maths. So, male kena ambil total. Total male berapa tu? 110. So, 110 out of 250. Sample space, jangan lupa. Times with total for maths. Maths tadi 75. So, 75 out of 250. Simplify this up, we get 33 out of 250. Sama ke? Tak sama. So, kita teruslah buat conclusion. Probability of male intersect maths not the same as probability of male times with probability of maths. So, justify balik apa yang dia cakap. Jangan guna MH tu. Apa yang dalam soalan ni penuh-penuh. So, student is male is not independent with student studies. Tadi yang digunakan tadi. Student studies math. Yes. Okay. So, kat sini dia nak cakap dependent lah sebenarnya. Gender ada isu dengan matematik. Dia nak bagi tahu itu lah sebenarnya. Mungkinlah kajian dia lah yang cakap kan. Padahal tak ada isu pun kan. Siapa-siapa boleh study math sebenarnya. Tapi kat sini dia nak cakap kat college ni maybe gender ada isu dengan matematik agaknya. Okay. Habislah topik 8.